microphone, desktop audio. Welcome, everybody. We are Tabletop Anthologies, and this is Star Trek Adventures. You've joined us on the USS Surprise as they make their way into the Shackleton Expanse on their first actual mission, and a mission that probably doesn't have Ferengis, which is going to make our Commander Kullat quite happy, since he seems to have some sort of vendetta there. We will go into our scenario here once we are into the ready room, but I would like to introduce everybody, starting with our Commander Maricadi.
Hello, happy to be here.
Played by Tabletop Tony. And our Vulcan, our science officer, Commander Kullat, played by Hades. Our Grazerite on Conn, the one and only Lieutenant Commander Zemp Attack Thrall, played by Turgalicious. Affirmative. Our Andorian in engineering, Lieutenant Commander Kaval, played by Forloth. And lastly, our Chief Medical Officer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Andal Grax, our Betazoid.
Howdy, y'all.
So, the title of this scenario will be That Which is Unknown. Which is unknown.
Title isn't known?
The title? No, it is not.
Why don't we know the title?
I don't know. Maybe during the game you'll learn the title, and then it'll become That Which is Known. Okay, so we join our crew in the ready room of the Surprise, where the captain has called them all to the table to discuss their recent orders, or their new orders. Captain welcomes you to the table, and he asks you all to have a seat. And once you all do arrive, he looks around and he says, "We've just received orders to head to the Takara system. This mission is delicate enough to be classified as top secret, command eyes only. What I can say is that we are to meet with Dr. Jabren. He's their lead scientist, and we'll be working with him directly. Our orders are to help supervise the field test of a new, improved quantum torpedo that Jabren himself and his team are currently developing. Starfleet intelligence has concerns that with the Romulan border less than 20 light years from Takara, they may know about and possibly intend to steal the device. Our crew, I expect them all to be on alert and provide whatever security measures are needed to ensure that no one gains access to this potential weapon, especially the Romulans. It can't be stressed enough that the Federation does not want them to have access to something that can conceivably affect the balance of power in the quadrant." Any questions?
Yes, Admiral, this is quite the task. What's our level of threat? I mean, clearly this is an important project Starfleet's been working on for quite some time. How many eyes and ears?
This is supposed to be pretty low on the communications totem. They did that on purpose. Now, the Romulans, they have their spies everywhere. So we just have to be prepared, which is part of the reason why we were brought on to provide security for the Takarans. But as far as any direct threat level, they have not heard any chatter.
Very well. It sounds like a lot of this operation is need to know, so I will abstain any further questions.
Anyone else?
Being that this is so top secret, is there any information that we do know about what these quantum torpedoes are capable of?
No, they wanted to keep the communications to a minimum in case there was any sort of subterfuge or interception of those messages. My guess is that once we're actually with Dr. Jabren on his planet, he can provide a little more details on this torpedo and its capabilities.
I'm also excited to know how these things work, Andal.
Sounds very interesting. When you put the word quantum next to torpedo, you can only imagine the kinds of things it could do.
I don't know of any that are like it. Commander Kullat, have you ever heard of such a torpedo with such devastation or abilities?
Certainly it could mean many things, so without knowing anything further, I would not like conjecture.
I see the time for theory is not.
Admiral, if I
Lieutenant
may,
Commander, go ahead.
are there any Romulan technologies that we should be made aware of that may hinder our security efforts? Cloaking devices, specific radar types, something we should keep our eyes on.
So, yes, Lieutenant Commander, the Romulans do have the ability to cloak. So that is something to kind of make sure we try and track, but again, unless we know a specific warp drive signature, we generally don't have the ability to track an actual cloaked ship. But they do have that ability.
Understood, Admiral. I appreciate your answer and your time.
Thank you, Admiral. I don't believe we have any other questions for you besides when do we set off? Or sorry, ETA.
Once this meeting is adjourned, we will head out. Cabal, do you have any questions?
No, I do not, Admiral. Sorry, I was looking over the schematics. I was momentarily distracted.
It's okay. It's understandable. It's some deep science. Kind of goes above my head, which is just why I'm glad I have all of you aboard, especially for this mission.
Admiral, Sorry, Commander, you were speaking.
No, please, Andal. Merely humor.
No, I did say Admiral. Am I talking to the Admiral here or the Captain? The Captain.
Captain.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Captain.
I keep saying Admiral. Yeah.
I gave you a surprise. I gave you a surprise promotion, Captain. Congratulations.
It's okay. It's everybody's still a little new in the ready room, so nerves are still there a little bit. Maybe it's time we all shared a dinner or a breakfast.
I have a question for the Admiral.
Certainly.
Does the Captain have a drink in front of him?
He does.
What flavor?
What flavor?
What flavor? You're gonna taste it.
Did he request it from the replicator while we were in the room?
No, he brought it in. And
Okay.
like last time, it was a small cup, like you would see in maybe an espresso cup or maybe even a coffee cup. But it was
Like an Italian?
Yeah. Well, the pinkies must be raised because he's the captain. But it is a hot beverage, and it was the Andorian version of coffee, which is Katheka.
Oh, we did talk about Katheka.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yes.
I thought we were sharing it, though. I thought we were sharing a glass.
We might have been. I don't know whether 2 straws or 1. Captain looks at everybody else and kind of folds his arms in front of him, and he says, "Well, gentlemen, if there's no further questions, we'll meet you on the bridge."
I have one last question. I apologize, Captain, if this has been stated already. Is this Dr. Jabrin a part of Starfleet, or is he with another organization?
No, he's with the Takaran race. They are
I
not
see.
part
And
of
do
the
they-
Federation.
And do they have some sort of organization that this doctor is part of that we should be aware of?
Are you referring to like a guerrilla group or a faction per se?
Yes, I assume there must be some sort of a lab or maybe structure that this doctor works within.
Yes, there is a lab. That is actually where we will be on our way to meet him at.
I see.
But in terms of like factions or groups within, I am not aware of any specific. I just know that he is the lead scientist on this team for this torpedo.
I see. Thank you, Captain.
Of course.
Now, this is unusual, and I apologize for this in advance. I appear to have taken some notes from a previous conversation, and I have Dr. Jabrin, Quantum Torpedo, Tacarins, obviously I'm misspelling my part, and then Tellurite Valve. Is there a reason why I should have that?
Tellurite Valve?
Yes. No.
I'm not sure what you're doing in your spare time, Lieutenant Commander, but make sure you get all your Amazon orders in before we leave the dock next time.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. See you all on the bridge. So, Captain makes his way to the bridge. I assume he's being followed by the rest of you.
Affirmative.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So as
I
we
hang back a little bit because I'm not as much of a suck ass, and I'm trying to stay cool. But yeah.
Oh,
just trying.
I
Who's
get up
this
immediately
Andorian?
as soon as he leaves and follow him.
With a straw.
Oh, you
Is,
with the straw.
is it the Vulcan that's kind of pushing the Andorian into the commander? Is that what he's doing? Like nobody can see, so he has to be embarrassed and be like.
Oh.
So as you guys all arrive to the bridge, you relieve those who are on duty, and the gentleman at the Conn looks over at Zemp and he says, "Lieutenant Commander, we are about to arrive to the Takara system. Conn is yours."
Beautiful. Thank you for your time. He takes a seat.
Okay. And away we go.
Is that the commander's catchphrase? Away we go.
No, we've already arrived, so you'll have to listen for his catchphrase later.
Yeah, he doesn't say engage like Picard.
Yeah, they're all taken. All the good phrases are taken, okay? Hit it, engage. What's Janeway say? She uses them all.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and away we go.
And away we go.
Perfect. Whatever. You are being hailed.
Hail.
Hail Kaiser.
Hail.
On screen, Lieutenant. So, on the screen is a picture of Dr. Jabrin. Let me see if I can show the audience. View character artwork. Show players. There you go. This is Dr. Jabrin. He is the lead scientist on the next mission here. And he is on the screen.
Oh.
The captain stands up and he nods towards Dr. Jabrin and he says, "Doctor, we've been acquainted. I will be in my ready room to notify Starfleet Command that we've arrived." He looks back to the commander and he says, "Number 1, you have the bridge."
Thank you, Captain.
And the doctor looks at you, Commander, and he says, "Good day. I am Dr. Jabrin."
Dr. Jabrin, it's a pleasure. I'm Commander Maricadi. Extend a handshake? If that's custom, I don't actually know.
We can do that when you bring your away team down to the surface. Again, I am the lead
right.
scientist of this quantum torpedo program, and I know you are here to assist me in anything that I need, and I want you to know how much I appreciate that.
Of course, we love to provide Overwatch, especially for such an important project.
Commander, when your team is ready, please have them bring a shuttlecraft down to the provided coordinates while I will demonstrate a simulated test of this device so that your science team can observe its capabilities, and then we will transport it back to the ship via the shuttlecraft.
Affirmative. Doctor, I will be sending a away team down here. Just beam over the coordinates and we'll be ready.
And the screen shuts off.
Click. I don't... To speak candidly here, I'm not sure why we need to test it now and not test it when it's already under our hands. This is rather hostile space, but at the same time I won't question the doctor. I'm just kind of speaking. And then I look at Commander Kullat, and I say, well, would you rather observe from the bridge, Commander, or in person?
Well, since we are bringing something back, it's probably best that I give oversight on that in person.
I agree. So then it's best for you to lead the away team then. I'll trust you pick the best officers we have available. I think I'll be on the bridge. I'll remain here on the bridge to provide support, as well as attack Thrall and I, for any logistical concerns you might need. Perhaps Andal would like to come along, Lieutenant.
Oh, yes, of course, please.
I
Very
would like
much
to
like
join as well, Commander Kullat, if you will have me.
Certainly.
Very good then. We'll provide any support or sensor readings you might need to confirm on our end up here. I wish you the best of luck, Commander.
Commander?
Commander.
Commander.
Commander?
Commander?
Lieutenant? Lieutenant Commander?
Lieutenant Junior Grade? Lieutenant
Lieutenant
Commander?
Junior Grade? Commander?
Commander? That's gonna be the rest of the episode. We're just gonna be we're just gonna keep doing that. All right.
Say over.
Someone was wanting to reach the British crowd, so... Morning.
Morning.
Good day. Okay, so the three of you will be going.
Correct.
Okay.
Affirmative.
Okay. So real quick, who will be piloting the shuttlecraft?
I do have some piloting skills, if that's required. What do I got? I've got Conn 2. I presume that would be sufficient.
Okay.
Unless somebody's got something better than that, gentlemen?
I need my best pilot on the ship in case we get some Overwatch, so...
In this
You seem like the
century,
best for
I'd
that.
imagine they'd fly themselves, but...
You could also... I don't know what we have staff available, but, I mean, could we get another staff member to fly the shuttle?
Who needs them?
Another...
We got it covered.
Okay.
Conn
Okay,
2.
you're right.
Yeah, where's
You'll-
Tom Paris? He's been learning to fly.
He's in
I
the
get you guys
Delta
work well
Quadrant
together.
currently.
I would gladly fly the ship if you would allow me, Commander.
That's cool lot.
Wait, are we fighting for it now?
Like cats and dogs.
That's fine by me.
I want to fly the ship.
Caval here's like, oh, I can fly, I've got skill, and then this guy's like, I would gladly fly it instead.
As a Betazoid, he did probably sense a little bit of nervousness in Caval's piloting abilities compared to his own.
Hello, a skill or 2. What do you got, Grax? What do you got?
Or is it? It's Conn and Control,
It's
I'm
Conn,
guessing?
yeah,
Yeah.
Control.
11 and 3.
Oh,
Okay.
nerd.
Alright.
You thought you could fly?
Black.
So-
List,
Being a commander, I'm gonna
Grax.
assume that I have some kind of knowledge into their abilities and certifications, and so
Yes.
I'll say Lieutenant Junior Grade it is then behind the controls.
Oh, great. 5 minutes ago it was, oh, these things can fly themselves.
Get him. Get the Vulcan.
Very well, Lieutenant Commander Cabal. Perhaps you could analyze the area and assess their security threats that they might have while I pilot this ship.
Why don't I do that? That sounds like a great idea.
You just see me kind of shrink down to the control.
Is it
And
hot?
Kullat
The atmosphere
Kullat
controls.
shoots some whiskey before they leave.
Oh my.
Sure, it's not like what is it, Andorian ale? Or
It's not
Romulan ale. That's it. The good stuff.
It's a chilled shot of Romulan ale.
Calm the nerves. Okay.
Children?
Andal, give me a control in Conn. Difficulty 1. And Caval, what were you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, perfect.
No, I'm scanning the surface.
And what are you looking for?
I'm looking for things that could be bad. I don't know. Potential threats. Let's see. Anything locked on us. Any sort of disturbances that might interrupt our flight path. Power surges, large galactic worms, just your standard stuff.
In the sand?
Spice. He's checking for spice on the surface,
Spice on the
dealers?
surface.
Okay.
so he can snort some to become a better pilot himself.
Insight and security, difficulty 1.
Oh yeah. Wait, are we going let me try it again. Are we going high or low?
You want difficulty 1, so you just want 1 success.
So good.
So you are good, yeah. So you both earn a momentum, if you like. You'll have no problem flying the shuttlecraft down to the coordinates given to you by Dr. Jabrin. And Lieutenant Caval, Lieutenant Commander Caval, excuse me. You have momentum you can bank or spend. Spend for something like this would be more information. Your choice.
I'm inclined to spend it for more information unless the crew overrules me. Gentlemen?
Nope.
Okay, so
Then more information.
as you go down to the surface, you do pass several of the Takaran warbirds. They're much smaller than the Surprise itself. So it looks like they wouldn't be able to handle much in the way of larger ships. But you do notice is the amount of them that's in the area. So it looks like they probably like to surround their enemies or the people they're fighting and overwhelm them with numbers. Here, while it does look like they are providing security around the area, but there are quite a few. Probably about 10.
Does that strike me as unusual, inordinate amounts? Or don't really have a frame of reference?
You really don't have a frame of reference because we haven't dealt with the Takarans before, but you probably think, based on what the captain told you about how secretive this mission was and how the security was top priority, this probably seems like they might be doing it overkill just in case.
Understood.
But this is like a remote base, right? This isn't their home planet.
No, this is their home planet, but it's one of his labs. It's a lab that he has. Okay.
The lab that is Jabroni's lab.
The Jabroni's lab. Okay. So here we are in Dr. Jabrin's lab, and he put him down here by the torpedo. And
Torpedoes.
7 Tony or just shorter. And you are here. He looks up as you guys beam in, and he motions for you to all come down the steps to where he is with the torpedo.
Wow, did Caval just leap over the railing?
I did.
Jabrin turns to Caval and he says, "Careful next time. There are safety measures in place to ensure you do not twist an ankle."
I am Andorian, but I take your advice to heart. Please, continue.
So you make it all. You three make it into the scientist's lab. You're surrounded by equipment, computers. In the center looks to be the like a large equipment spot where they would have the torpedo, sitting. He does have it up for you guys to look at, and he also is kind of standing there with his hands crossed as you all walk in. And he looks at you three and he says, "Welcome to my lab. Who is in charge?"
That would be myself, Commander Kullat.
Commander Kullat, I am Dr. Jabrin. And your colleagues?
I am Lieutenant Junior Grade, Andal Grax,
Hello and
Medical
welcome.
Officer for the surprise. Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you.
Lieutenant Commander Caval, at your service. No, I am not a hobbit.
That's good. They are not allowed in labs. Their hairy feet clog the filters.
That's kind of speciesist. I'm gonna file a complaint with HR.
Do it.
So,
Did you just say do it?
Yeah. Do it.
Do it. Do it. I
You
dare
won't. You won't do it.
Dare you.
And go ahead.
so there's no one else in this lab at all. It's just us and the doctor.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
He feels we could overwhelm him.
Yeah. Is there anything around I could steal? No, I'm kidding.
He leans over to the torpedo
Wrong
and presses
game.
detonate.
Yeah, grab the torpedo and all the quantum we can fit in the shuttle.
And he detonates the torpedo.
Oh,
The end.
Damn it.
Commander, you detect a large explosion from the surface.
Are there
Commander
any
Maricadi.
state secrets up on these screens?
He does have a lot of the schematics posted of it currently, yes.
Admiral, did you say the Takarans are members of the Federation?
As far as I'm aware, they are not members of the Federation.
And yet they're making these quantum torpedoes for us?
They are working on a quantum torpedo and asked to involve Starfleet for assistance, both in security and in the science aspects. And with that in mind, they would share what they learn with Starfleet.
So, being this close, if I understood correctly, being this close to the Romulan Empire, they feel that they need our involvement to protect us from the Romulans? Are they on a war footing with the Romulans?
No, they aren't at war with the Romulans. They're just providing extra security due to the closeness of the actual Romulan border. They just do not. They're working so it does not fall into the Romulan hands.
Understood. So this isn't just an opportunity for us to increase our armaments, but also potentially develop a closer relationship with a potential Federation partner?
Affirmative.
Understood. So, what's up?
oh my god.
So, Doctor, we are here in an assistive capacity. How may we assist you?
He walks up to the torpedo and kind of unfolds his arm. And he looks towards Commander Kullat and he says, "We will be setting this torpedo off on a derelict freighter. I have the coordinates, and we will get those once the torpedo is secured upon your starship. Commander Kullat, before we go through these simulated tests that I have what I would like to phrase as a delicate question to ask you.
I was muted. Proceed, Doctor.
That awkward silence of, oh, okay, maybe I'm not gonna. He says, Commander Kullat, in order to obtain the most accurate readings of this quantum torpedo, I would like to request detailed structural schematics of your ship and the shield frequencies. That way, when the quantum torpedo does explode, we can measure how it affects the shields on the frequencies that it's on.
Fuck that!
I'm afraid I do not have the clearance to approve such a thing myself. That would have to be requested directly from the captain.
That is understood.
Lieutenant Grax, where did you park the shuttle, just out of curiosity?
and he kind of looks
now,
at... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, as a man of science, how do I evaluate that question? Does that check out? Does that jive that this information could give him valuable insight?
Yes, it could. You don't even need to roll for that.
Okay.
And what kind of emotions am I picking up from him?
You aren't picking any emotions up. Due to the Takaran's race, you aren't able to pick up any of that.
Okay. I would probably know that ahead of time then, I think.
Yes. Yeah, that's something you could have looked up in the database aboard the ship.
Okay.
And when the commander, once you do tell him about the captain, he says, I understand. And again, the purpose is to provide the safest yet closest distance in which to observe the field test and obtain the best data for further development of this weapon.
And may I be given a purview of how this weapon functions that I might help forward this request to the captain?
Of course. If you and your science team would turn your attention to the screen for the simulated test. He comes over and he taps a few buttons on the view screen itself, and up on the screen is the quantum torpedo, and you see it sitting in the hull of this simulated freighter, and the screen kind of pulls back, and as you... Oh, Judge Wolf wants to observe the field test. As it draws back, the screen, you see an explosion on the ship, and you see the screen go white. You kind of see a little bit of a implosion in the vicinity as to where it explodes. And once it's done, the screen, it shuts off, and some more data starts to fill up. So it starts to talk about the detailed schematics of the torpedo and the potential high yield abilities that it has.
I would make thorough observation of this information and make mental notes.
Okay.
Impressive, Doctor, and this was all developed by your facility here?
That is correct, Commander. We are quite proud of our efforts, and we would like to see this torpedo to fruition. Has impressed us all.
And this will be the first field test of it?
Correct.
As an engineer, Doctor, I'd just like to say your torpedo is very impressive.
Oh my god.
And he puts his arms across it and kind of glides like this on the torpedo casing, and he nods his head and he says, "Lieutenant Commander, I thank you. I agree with you. You put your hand on it, you can
New
feel
torpedo smell. Does it pulsate?
it. Does it? Is there a pulsing? No. So he says, he taps some more buttons and he closes a view screen, and he looks to the commander and he says, "Any further questions, Commander?"
Yes. Now I don't know the technical military term for this. I'm not very versed in explosives, but I essentially ask him if it's volatile, for lack of better terms. How much do we need to protect it on the way? Is there a risk of detonation from, physical force or heat or anything like that while we transport it?
Good question.
He looks at the commander and he says, "We have taken the utmost security measures and safety measures to ensure that some jumbling and some rough seas, if you will, in space, some turbulent space, doesn't jolt it. However, we would like to try not to drop the quantum torpedo on the floor. I'm sure it'll just dent the outer structure, but let's try and not drop that."
Commander
Yeah.
Kullat, if I may.
Lieutenant
That's-
Commander?
That system we had been working on that prevents torpedoes from being beamed out of the ship, that's fully operational, is it not?
It appeared to work before.
Good.
But that does beg the question, is it safe to be transported by transporter? Or must it be handled entirely by shuttlecraft?
That is why I had you all bring a shuttlecraft down, to transport it via shuttlecraft. Due to the quantum nature and the delicate ways to set this off, didn't want to take any chances. Until we have more accurate readings and tests from the tests that we are going to be observing, I want it all handled without a transporter.
Understood, Doctor.
Doctor, in that case, are there any of your associates, perhaps, that could fly other shuttles alongside us? If there was some sort of information leak and there are other forces looking to get a hold of this, they might be expecting this one shuttle that we're flying back to have the torpedo. With multiple shuttles, that may give us some cover in that case.
He kind of squint eyes you as you say leak. "Do you know something that I don't, Lieutenant Junior Grade?"
I do not. I, in fact, know less than you, and that's why I think the utmost precaution should be taken.
I agree. As you probably observed on your way in, there were quite a few of our warships in the area and in orbit. They will be assisting us in this test and escorting as well.
Very well.
So you say we shall have an armed escort on this?
Some Takaran ships will be escorting us. That is affirmative, Commander.
So from the bridge specifically, they tested that missile, right? They tested the quantum. Like, did I see any?
No,
Go
it wasn't tested. It was just a simulation of the test.
Oh, okay.
So the point of it was to kind of show them an explosion, but
I see.
at the end of it, it was showing some detailed schematics about the torpedo and the high yield radius and the effects that the torpedo has once exploded, once
Gotcha.
detonated.
And my scanners, am I getting any activity or any signs of anything? I'm probably on high alert right now.
Yeah. So you can do a check, certainly. If you want to do a control and science followed with the ship's sensors and science. Well, actually, no, sorry. Control and security and sensors and security, since you were talking about security. And if attack Thrall has temporarily.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you wanted to do the ship, since he's doing the roll, if he hadn't already done that.
Sorry, I got both.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a simple difficulty one. As far as you can tell, there's nothing on the sensors other than the Takaran warships, both in orbit and hovering around the lab in almost a pattern, like a control security pattern.
Right. Any way I can get a readout on those Takaran ships to see what's inside or what they're equipped with, what their fighting capabilities are?
Yeah, that would be a standard sensors, another role. So the control and security and sensors and security.
How many torpedoes in total are we transporting?
Just one.
Just one?
Yes.
So following up on Lieutenant Grax's idea, could we put like a dummy torpedo in with the container and then take the other torpedo and put it, throw a rug over it or something and, put it in the, next to the seats, under the seat?
Yeah, I think it would slide right under there. Nobody would even notice. Right?
Just an idea. I don't know. What do you think, Commander Kullat?
I do like the idea of using multiple shuttles, too, though. That way, if we did have anyone try and intercept us, they'd.
But we're the only Federation shuttle currently on the surface. We'd have to bring down additional shuttles. By that point,
could have them meet us in space. We have to have more than one shuttle, right?
Yes, you have several.
That's an idea.
I thought that's what Seb here suggested.
Yeah. I mean, just that works too. I just meant any shuttles with us, but yeah, ours would probably stand out from all of the ones down here right now.
Yeah, but he's only a lieutenant. You're a commander. It makes a lot more sense when you say it.
That's true.
But if we had 3 shuttles flying together, that way, if there was any kind of ambush, we could all.
We're literally going from the surface of the planet up to the ship. I mean, are they hiding around the next moon?
If we want to get meta here, the what are they called again? Romulans.
Oh, that's right. They have cloaking.
Technology.
No, that's a valid point. That slipped my mind.
Hey, would we know that the Romulans have cloaking technology?
Yes.
Yes, so I like the multiple shuttle idea.
Then perhaps Commander Maricadi can send some to intercept us on our way up, and we'll do a whole razzle-dazzle thing and shift around the field, and then they won't know.
What was it he had asked us for again on the shields and the...
Harmonics? Or shield harmonics?
Or shield harmonics, and what else? No,
he was asking about the ship's structure and the structural schematics of your ship and the shield frequencies.
Shield frequencies.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna
interrupt you real. Sorry, I want to interrupt you real quick because I want to get back to Tabletop Tony's role, and then you guys can go in to do what you want to do. Is that okay? Okay. So, Commander Maricadi, you were scanning the Takaran warships, correct?
That's right.
Okay. So, yeah, you can see that they do have the ability to shoot photon torpedoes, and they do have phaser banks on their ship. Not as strong phaser banks that the Surprise has, but they do have them.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
And so you know, there's 2 different types. There's phaser banks and phaser arrays. Banks are single shooty lasers, right? The phaser array is almost like a large strip, so multiple shots can come off that array in one time. So this just has phaser banks.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. We have both. We have an array, I believe.
We have an array.
Yeah.
An array of banks.
An array of banks.
Wait a minute.
Okay, sorry. And now back to you, Kullat, and team, and anybody else that wants to do anything.
I was just gonna say I would wait until either I'm back in person if we're going back to the ship first to forward that request to the captain, or at least waiting till we're in transit and opening up a secure line to him.
Are you referring to the extra shuttles?
Yeah, that and requests from the good doctor here. So I have something else to say to the captain when I forward that.
Okay.
I would pull out my tricorder and just ask the doctor, do you mind, doctor, if I take a few readings?
By all means, Lieutenant Junior Grade, go ahead.
Tricorder's gonna tricord.
Yes, it is. Give me a reason in science or reason in engineering, and this is going to be a difficulty of 4.
Reason and science. Do we have momentum? We do not.
We should have at least one.
Well, hold
Didn't
on a
you
second.
bank
Let
one
me-
earlier?
No, Caval used one for more information. Let's see. Commander Maricadi's role was a difficulty 1, so there is at least one momentum. That
Well,
I'm
when he
aware of.
flew the shuttle, I think he had a momentum.
Yeah, difficulty. It was a difficulty 1. All right, yeah. So then it was momentum. If that's, we'll assume you banked it. How's that?
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause-
yeah,
No, he
Spent
did
just
say to
one.
bank it, because then the
Did he?
other one,
Okay.
What's His Nuts was doing a scan, and he used his for the extra info on the way down.
What's his antennas?
Caval. Sorry.
Ooh, that's a terrible roll. Damn.
I'll tell you what, because you only use 3 dice. Were you going to use 3 or 4?
3. I didn't want to use all of it.
Okay. So
Is there another, never mind. Ignore me. Is there another momentum?
yes, there is.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, so you're looking at your tricorder, and you kind of get this dumbfounded look on your face as you're looking at all the material, and you realize that there's simply strange readings regarding the power signature of this torpedo.
Okay. So I just walk around, I do a loop once around, and I'm just sitting there going, I see. Yes, okay. And then I get back to where I was standing before. Very well built. And I just put the tricorder away quickly.
And I say, Lieutenant Commander? Or Lieutenant Junior Grade? Kind of like a, what did
Yes,
you find?
Like a what?
Like, he's
he-
clearly doing something, and I go, share with the class.
Well, perhaps you would like to look at the readings yourself, and I just kind of show you what I picked up and see if you make any sense of it, or if I just got a bunch of gibberish and used the tricorder wrong.
I look at his scan then, and do I glean anything from it?
Give me an insight in science. Did you use science or engineering? You did science. So insight
Science.
in science of a difficulty of 1. You look at the readings of the tricorder, and you agree with Lieutenant Junior Grade that there are strange readings regarding the power signature of this torpedo.
Interesting. Well, Doctor, unless there's anything else we should know.
No. However, I would like your crew to assist my crew in loading the torpedo upon your shuttlecraft, and I will fly back with you as we go back.
Fly back with us to deliver it?
To your ship, correct. Because I will be accompanying you.
Am I misunderstanding? So, like, are we taking it back to the ship and then the ship flying out to wherever we're detonating this?
Yes, the surprise will be transporting.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Commander, did your captain not properly brief you?
That was an out of character question there.
I was making a joke on myself because I don't remember if I said that or not.
Yeah, I just had like this image in my head that there was like this floating derelict in orbit that we were gonna blow up. But,
you'll be going
makes
to,
sense
yeah,
that
you'll be
it's further
transporting
away.
the torpedo to that. Yes.
But it's not close enough that we're going straight there we're getting on the starship first to go further.
Correct.
Excellent, Doctor. I would love the opportunity to discuss with you further the differences between harmonics and fundamental frequencies, where your frequency will be your standard, say, 100 hertz. The harmonics will be the multiples of the fundamental frequency. So in that case, higher harmonics would be 200 hertz or 300 hertz. Agreed?
I agree, sir. We could definitely discuss this, and I would like to take advantage of these replicators that your ship has. I hear you have some fine dining and cuisine aboard your ship.
Yes, of course, please. I would love for you to take advantage of me and my replicators.
Perfect. Well, Commander Kullat, if we could get this loaded, we can get underway.
Post-haste.
Post-haste. Forthwith.
Shadow effects. I think
yes.
that's more what I meant to say.
Forthwith. So whoever's going to assist and help carrying this device, obviously they have, I don't know what they would be called.
I think you
Those-
said grab lift the other day.
Yeah, those anti-grav things that they slap on the
that's
side.
word. Yeah, that everybody would kind of walk with.
That Boba Fett pushes Han around on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
That's fine. Whoever's helping, give me a control and engineering task, difficulty 1.
Oh lord, who's got the best control and engineering?
That would be me. Control and engineering coming up.
Not me.
Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1.
2 dice.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Anybody else assisting, or is just the rest of his science team going to be helping walk this thing out?
I can assist, but I think Commander Kullat may be better suited for it.
You can't, if not, from the
I
get-
have a good control. You said control and engineering? Yeah, I got it.
Yes, sir.
And I dropped it.
Nope. You actually gained a momentum. Would you like to bank it?
Yes.
All right. So you all walk it up to the shuttlecraft and load it without issue. And Dr. Jabrin climbs aboard and sits in one of the seats, kind of tapping his foot a little bit and looking down at the torpedo and kind of looking at the screen and then back to the open door like, let's get going.
So I board the ship. Are any of his assistants joining us, or is it just him?
Just gonna be him.
Okay. Secure the torpedo and make sure that it will not be dislodged or indicate any sort of jostling should we encounter space turbulence.
That's right.
Or turbulence.
Turbulent.
as we like to call it, and prepare for takeoff. And ask the good doctor if he could I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps, or a magazine.
Magazine.
A
What's that?
lozenge.
A lozenge. Has it got mentholyptus in it?
You can feel it in your nose.
Yes. Pilot and all. Control and Conn difficulty 1. Anything you'd like to do with that, Moms?
I would like to. I'm trying to think of what the spends are. I think there's one that's like create an advantage or something. I want to pilot it so well that I impress the doctor and also the rest of the crew.
So as
Man, he lists lazily to the left.
Damn it!
Yeah.
We were told no showboating.
Where did you get this? Where did you get those skills? So, yeah. So then, tell me how you do that. There, Maverick.
I just I take off at a steady pace and just keep it real level. Make sure there's no turbulence that we hit or anything on the way up there, and just keep the torpedo secure. And it's just a smooth ride, and we're there before anyone knows it.
And
Wait,
because
did
of
shuttles
your
meet us on the way down? I mean, on the way up?
Oh
Say
yeah,
that again?
didn't Commander Kullat wanted to contact the captain first, right?
Well, I misunderstood where we were going. So that's going to be once we get to the region of space we're going to leave with extra shuttles to the derelict.
okay, so
I mean,
that's
'cause
not
we're
for the
just-
delivery.
No, because we're like in low orbit right over the station, right?
Yep,
Like
that's
it's just from here to there.
Yep,
Oh, so-
Zem put you guys right into orbit.
So, yeah,
When the Andorian said, "Well, we're just going from the surface," that was kind of what you meant.
Yes.
so we should be protected by whatever's on the surface and by the big ship. So that's just
Correct. You guys nervous or something?
no, not here. Like I said, I had a misunderstanding, a
Okay.
different picture in my head of how this was going down.
Oh, okay. See. I see. All right. So as you are bringing the ship in, and you do such a wonderful job, the doctor comes up and he's kind of standing over you, observing you, and as you bring it in steadily, and there's no movement, no jostling, nothing. He kind of puts his hand on your shoulders and he says, "Excellently done, Lieutenant Junior Grade. I'm impressed
you,
with
Doc.
your piloting skills."
Oh my god.
Thank you very much. My time spent doing surgery has really assisted me in my piloting skills as well.
I could see that.
Blacklist, Lieutenant Grax, suck ass.
So, you have no problems flying that back to the ship and securing that over in Cargo Bay 1. As you guys are all getting off and arriving back to the ship, I assume you guys all go back to your specific duty stations. And...
Well, we ensure the torpedo is transported safely off the shuttle.
Yes, yeah, you did, into Cargo Bay 1, Uno.
And we get it done with some docking clamps.
And
Okay.
do we have security
so no one
on
can
this?
take that shuttle.
Yes.
Oh yeah, extra security detail, please.
You're asking for one?
Yes.
So, ask.
Extra security detail, please. Is there like a man in charge of the
Yeah,
hangar?
that is going to be your tactical officer, the Klingon Reinach Vacht.
What's his rank?
That's a good question.
But yeah, am I playing him?
He is a commander. Yes. If you want to play him as a supplemental character today, certainly you may.
Sure.
Say that surname again.
Reinach.
It's Yeah, it's under the bridge crew supporting characters.
can see it. Lakara, Marax, Mervab, Tarya.
No, go
Above
on.
that bridge crew.
Oh. Vogt is your surname then?
Yes.
Yep, looks like it.
Commander Vogt?
Yes, Commander.
I'd like an extra security detail placed in this hangar and access restricted to anyone. How many commanders
anyone.
would be? How many commanders would be on the ship?
It's
would
all
just
dependent
be-
on mission. The ship could have several, easily.
Well, then I'd say, and restrict access to this hangar to anyone who isn't myself, Commander Maricadi, or above in rank.
Understood, Commander Kullat. I'll get right on that. And then Rhinoc would be running off and finding all the security teams and make messaging off anything he needs to do to increase the security level around there and have constant surveillance on that torpedo.
Okay. And that's something that is standard within the Starship, that you're able to easily get a security team detail on Cargo Bay 1, in or around, outside of, in the hallway, whatever you guys want. Your Commander Voxt is able to do for you.
Yes, anyone approaching the hangar bay who isn't in the list I just gave is to immediately be detained and reported to us.
Of course.
And Dr. Jabrin, as he hears you giving out the orders to the security officer, he has a look on his face, but then he nods his head and he says, a wise decision, Commander Kullat.
Something with this much power must be kept from being tampered with, certainly.
I agree with you. Now shall we go to your bridge?
Yes?
Yes, go ahead and continue.
Yes.
You may continue to the bridge. I will meet you momentarily.
He kind of stands around. Okay. What direction is that?
Right,
Anybody-
right this way, Doc.
Well, these.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you,
Say
Lieutenant
these
Junior.
two should
All right. The pilot of our shuttlecraft will get me there.
he will pilot you to the bridge.
So they make their way to the bridge. Anything you guys would like to do prior to getting to the bridge?
I'm headed to the captain's quarters or wherever he at.
Okay. Yeah, he would be in the ready room. Is that where you're
Into the
headed?
ready room I shall go.
Enter.
I step in. Captain,
Commander Kullat, how can I help you?
we have the doctor and the experimental torpedo aboard. I have taken steps to increase security on the hangar bay. Access will only be granted to yourself, myself, or Commander Maricadi.
Actually, Commander, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. And he calls the Commander Maricadi.
So at that point, I answer the call and I head to the ready room as well.
Yes. And Commander Kullat, sorry, I meant to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wanted wanted number one here to hear everything you have to say as well.
Very prudent, Captain. So then I reiterate the security part. Additionally, the doctor has forwarded a request for during the testing of the torpedo. He would like schematics to our ship and to know our shield frequencies in order to garner further information during the tests. While this does seem to make sense and coincide with what he's getting at, if I may offer a suggestion, and that is to have a separate frequency prepared in case there are any mishaps that we might need to immediately switch over.
And he sits there for a second, and he nods, and he says, and your take on this Dr. Jabrin, what are your thoughts on him?
Certainly an informed individual. He's very educated and knows a lot about the technology he's presenting to us here. Anything further is beyond my expertise. However, with everything having the potential to affect this mission, we know how the... Sorry, what are they called again? I keep losing it.
The Takarans?
No, I should know of all people.
Romulans?
Romulans, thank you. We know how the Romulans are, so any information that we can keep in our own hand and away from view of other players would be advantageous. We don't know how tight their security is on Takara. I assume their planet's called.
And he nods, and he looks over to Commander Maricadi, and he says, Gregory here has been running around-the-clock scans of both the surface and orbit and the space around. Do you have a report on that, Commander Maricadi?
Affirmative sensors are indicating minimal activity. Nothing's coming up. The Takarans themselves look well equipped, however, but we are definitely carrying the military operation here. They're equipped with some phaser banks, but limited firepower in that regard.
And we've detected no Romulans, is that correct?
Yeah, negative. No Romulans, no sign of hostile intervention at this time.
Okay. Number one, if you will take the commander's suggestion, reference the shield frequencies to our tactical officer and explain that to him, and then we can get underway.
Very well, Captain.
I will join you on the bridge momentarily.
And Captain, one more thing.
Go ahead.
I would like to use the ship sensors to do one more scan of the torpedo, in case there's anything else we can glean from that before the tests.
By all means. You don't need my permission. Go ahead.
Then I excuse myself.
And he kind of nods, and he turns over, and it looks like he's bringing up secure channel to Starfleet Command. So you guys all going back out to the bridge?
That's right. I am.
I'm going if there's somewhere else that I can perform that scan, just so that it's away from anybody else observing.
In terms of, like, the doctor himself or any other crew members?
Just anyone, just so that I could collect any other information on the torpedo.
Yeah, you'd be able to find a different station, whether that's separate, whether that's on the bridge where nobody else might see, or if you wanted to go to engineering, there's stations there that you could scan as well. You would certainly easily find one.
Engineering, if there's like a corner where there's no one else at, but yeah, I would stop by there and perform that real quick and then return to the bridge once I've got whatever I've got.
Okay. So then that'll be a reason in science or a reason in engineering. And with that, whoever's rolling for the ship currently, I'm going to need a sensors in science.
Roger that.
Is this still a 4?
this is still a 4. But I will say, if you guys look, you have the sheet up for the surprise. It has what's called high-resolution sensors. So it has strong sensors based. It was equipped with strong sensors due to the science mission that it is currently on. So what that means is, while this isn't in combat, any successful task that's assisted by the ship's sensor gains 1 momentum.
Nice.
So, and that'll be a difficulty 4.
Well, we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to use that last, or how I don't. Are we at 2 momentum? I'd like to use 8
You are.
momentum.
Okay.
With
We had
my
we had a bonus die as well.
You
Oh,
did.
we did have a
from Mr. Wolf. Good call. So yeah, if you want
use the bonus
to
die for this.
yeah, you can do that. So I'll take away 1 momentum. If you want to then roll 4 dice. Quattro.
Okay, and just with my technical expertise in mind, I can re-roll a die since I'm using the ship sensors.
Okay.
And if I can also use a focus, I don't know if I'm padding this too much.
That's the point of it. That you
That
guys
away.
or yeah,
That away.
you guys are smart. Obviously, you're in Starfleet. You have years of training and study, and obviously as a Vulcan, there's a whole another level to that. So, there's no such thing as padding. It's you guys have
Okay.
this knowledge. Use it, certainly.
And that's reason and science.
Yes, it was reason and science, or reason and engineering, whichever you prefer.
And then my focus of physics.
Okay.
So it's 4 dice. Oh, I'll
Wow.
take it.
Okay. So you obviously succeed quite well, and you've gained 2 momentum from that. What would you like to do?
Extra informations.
Okay. That's 1. Do you want to bank the other?
Door
Yes.
number 3. Door number 3.
Yeah, I'll bank it.
A new car! Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, so as you scan this, the details come up, and you realize that it's not just strange readings on a tricorder. Maybe something was counteracting the tricorder's abilities, maybe you guys were just using it incorrectly. However, you learn that the active power source of this torpedo is a microsingularity. It provides a constant supply of almost unlimited power. And you also receive from the scan that the detonation of this will implode that singularity, which is going to cause damage both to physical structures and the subspace in the vicinity of the implosion, essentially kind of creating a rupture in subspace that will prevent a stable warp field.
Damn.
And can I tell how far that effective range is?
Yes. Yeah, that yeah, I don't even have a space number for it. But it comes up and you're able to determine a proper distance in which the radius would affect you or not affect you, or even if you were in it slightly, it would be minimal damage or shock to the ship if you were within the wake of that edge.
Oh, an anonymous cheer.
Oh, anonymous cheer. Thanks for the 100 bits. And I'll put that information in the chat for you guys just so you can see it, because it was a little bit of a word vomit in terms of things. Okay. Anything else anybody would like to do?
Load it in the torpedo tubes and shoot it.
You may fire when ready.
So is that has Commander Kullat shared that information, or is that still?
Yeah, I'd say I imagine we have some discrete computer communication, Star Trek Discord or something, where I would push these readings to the bridge crew and captain.
And you would receive acknowledgement from the captain.
So my question is there a way to determine the blowback range with the extended fallout area would be? Any chance of this impacting the ship?
Yeah, that was my last question, just so that I know where we can park to be outside of that.
Yeah, the safe
warp
range.
Disruption,
you would be able
subspace
to
disruption.
Figure that out, and Jabren might know that as well. But yes, you would have that information from your scans. A safe distance to observe.
So then I would, after pushing that information, I would rejoin the bridge.
Okay. Okay, once you come onto the bridge, that's basically about when Lieutenant Junior Grade and Jabren also arrive as well. And the captain
took the scenic route.
You did. The captain also comes out of the ready room, and he sees Dr. Jabren, and he walks up and he shakes his hand and he says, "Jabren, Dr. Jabren, it's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to my ship." And Jabren nods, and he kind of looks around, looks at everybody. He shakes his head quite a bit, and he says, "Okay, can we get this underway?" And the captain kind of nods, and he sits down in his seat, and he says, "Zemp."
Why, yes.
Lieutenant Commander, if you could set a course in the coordinates provided by our doctor here to the derelict freighter, and if we could set a warp 5.
I believe we are capable of that.
Shut up, Hades. So, Zemp, I'll need you to do 2 rolls, both Control and Conn, a difficulty 1, and whoever's doing the ship, I'll need a roll of Conn and Computer, and a Conn and Engines, please.
Another question. Reading over the schematics, the recent readings that Commander Kullat has pulled up. This rupture in subspace that will prevent a stable warp field, how long does that effect last? Is that a permanent effect? Surely not.
Are you asking the Admiral, or are you asking Dr. Jabren on the bridge?
You know
Surely
what?
You can't be serious.
I'm going to ask Dr. Jabren.
Okay. And
You're gonna play our hand and show him that we know more.
And he turns and he
Damn
says, he says, "That will be part of the test, Lieutenant Commander, is to see how long this will last. My simulations show that it could be several hours. However, the tests might result in different findings."
Captain, I'd like to transfer.
That is noted, Lieutenant Commander.
Noted.
You'll continue at your station. Okay, so Zemp, you are quite successful. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, Yes, 5. So you have 5 momentum with those 2 rolls.
We're gonna do an extra success for each, and then bank 3.
Okay. So you easily put in the coordinates that the doctor gives you to this derelict freighter. Damn it! Freighter. And you engage the warp drive, and you guys zip off into towards the destination.
Got a blast!
Got a blast. So you all arrive to the secret
blast.
You arrive to the secret location within the Takaran system. The freighter just sits there, drifting endless vast of space. There's no life to it. It's dead. It is large, though. I do have a token so you guys can see what it looks like. Bring this guy up. Token. Artwork. Show players. So that is what the freighter looks like. Nothing special. No power to it. It's just drifting aimlessly into space. Okay. And as you approach, Jabren looks over towards Commander and then the captain. If you could display the freighter upon the view screen, please, I would appreciate that. And the captain says, "Make it so." And they do, and it's just up on the view screen with no issue. And so the commander looks at Jabren, looks at the rest of the crew, and he says, "Okay, we just taken this to the freighter, load it off into the cargo hold, and bring the shuttlecraft back to the ship. Lieutenant Commander Zemb, I believe with your piloting abilities, I would like you to handle that."
Suck it, Grax.
That would be an honor.
Lock it up.
Grax.
This is a solo mission because we're activating the bomb before you leave.
No, you will need at least one other person to use the anti-gravs to assist you. So whoever would like to go may go.
Captain, if I may, might we take a couple of shuttlecraft as a... I'm losing the word. I lose so many words.
Diversion?
As
Precaution?
as an escort, and in case of any
It's a decoy.
issues once we arrive.
I see no issues in that, and Jabren kind of gets almost like a hurt or annoyed look on his face. Like, what gives? Why you do this?
Are the Takaran ships still with us, or did they
They
turn
haven't
back?
arrived yet. They did warp when you did.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Then he turns to Maricadi and he says, "Commander, if you would like to handle that, I want Lieutenant Commander Zemp, though, on the shuttlecraft that pilots the torpedo."
Very well, Captain.
I think we should rename that shuttle to the Manhattan.
Manhattan, we can do that. Certainly.
Interesting.
Now we just need a Schoppenheimer
A Schoppenheimer? Maybe.
who can ominously say that we have become... Oh, fuck, what's the quote? Death himself.
Are you riding a pale horse? Okay, so, what are you guys doing?
Death, destroyer of worlds, sorry.
Well,
I'm gonna turn in my badge and my gun. Say, see you, buddy. And I'm gonna take the next escape pod right to the sun.
All right, with Zemp.
Okay.
So who's
Zemp.
flying? How many shuttles are flying out?
Like 2 escort shuttles.
Mhm.
And who's flying those?
So 3 total. Nobody's unnamed crew persons?
Meat Shield
People's-
Unless-
101 and 102.
Unless you want to fly one?
Why is everybody so nervous?
What do you mean? I'm sure this is
I
gonna
was just
go
gonna
off
say,
without a
if I'm
hitch.
flying one, I want to name it the Enola Gay. That's what
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
I like
and then
it.
we need the boxcar.
So we have Zemp piloting one with the torpedo. Who else is doing one?
I'll fly one.
Red shirts.
Oh my
Ow!
gosh.
Just pack one with red shirts.
Yeah, the captain looks at everybody as standard
Just as a luck
pilot attire will be the red uniform. If you could all don those, please. Okay, Caval is taking another ship, a shuttlecraft. Okay, anybody else?
I think I would stay aboard unless I was ordered to take one of the shuttles.
We could use a medic
Why, are you scared?
What are you nervous? You just transporting a torpedo over.
in case we stub a toe.
Sure, I'll come with.
Drop it on your toe.
You should ride with Caval.
I will do
Yes,
that.
please, Lieutenant Grax, join me.
I'll make sure he stays healthy.
I appreciate that. You know what?
Rub his shoulders, just like
Why
the
don't,
doctor.
why don't you drive? I'll
What-
just take.
Dr.
co-pilot.
Jabrin is staying on the Surprise. He's not going with you.
No, I mean, he should rub Caval's shoulders like Jabren did to him when he was piloting.
Oh. Hello. Warp speed. Okay, so Zemp and
Lieutenant
Caval.
Grax.
Would you?
Lieutenant Grax, don't do that. Don't.
Is that a
don't
singularity in your pocket, or you just testing out a torpedo?
Don't rub my shoulders.
Before we leave, I'm assuming I would see that doctor staying there, and I would ask him, Doctor, would you not like to join us and oversee the transport, and that we set it up appropriately?
He looks at you and he kind of nods. Give me a presence and command, difficulty 1. You know, Lieutenant Junior Grade, that is a swell idea. I think I will join you. And so he leaves with those of you that are leaving towards shuttles. So there'll be 2 then, and the Surprise just hanging out.
Sounds like.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So then, I know Zemp will be piloting one, and Caval, you're piloting the other.
No, I think Grax is gonna pilot it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, but
Okay.
we're on the same shuttle.
Okay.
We're on the
So,
superfluous shuttle.
Superfluous.
Yeah.
The shoulder
the
rub
escort.
shuttle.
There'll be no shoulder rubbing going on here as long as I am senior commander.
He
Okay.
did want to name it the Enola.
Then, Zemp and Grax, if you could both give me a daring or control plus con task, difficulty of 2.
Daring Herbert Dashwood.
Grax? And all?
Yes.
Were you
Did I
you were-
miss?
You were piloting? Yes.
Oh no, I thought Caval was. I don't want to steal his thunder this time.
No, we agreed you were.
Okay.
So give me a
Control
daring,
and,
daring or control plus con. Difficulty
Gotcha.
2.
Who's the doctor flying with? Is he flying with us or is he flying with the?
He's going to be flying with you guys.
So not with the bomb.
Not with the bomb, no.
So somebody set us up the bomb.
I don't know about that. So, okay, so Lieutenant Commander Zemp has no problem flying into the hold of the freighter. And Lieutenant Junior Grade Andal, on the other hand, does not. I don't know if he's nervous from the previous show of his abilities that he's going to do it again, or the pressure thereof. Maybe it's the soft hand resting on his shoulders as they're piloting. However, as they approach the freighter, the shuttlecraft's ceiling does skim the top of the craft, which jostles the three of you. So if you could all go into your character sheets and click on Perform Challenge and just roll 1 challenge dice, please.
Sure, but I wasn't driving.
Right, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, so Lieutenant Junior Grade Andal, if you could take on your stress track, take away one of those stress, because you injure yourself, and you can tell me how you injure yourself. The other two in the shuttlecraft, they are able to maintain their stance or composure so that they're not injured.
So as I'm flying in there, there's a piece of debris that falls off actually from the other shuttle and drives by something, and a piece of debris snaps off and floats in front of the ship, and I'm unable to avoid it in time, so I scrape by it and probably like bang up my arm trying to quickly maneuver around it.
Oh, so it was their fault. I like it.
Yeah.
That was a good play off of it. So yeah, you hear some screeching, and the shuttlecraft is going to be a new paint job, but you do land, and Dr. Jabrani kind of straightens his uniform, and he says, "I see you still need some more practice, Lieutenant Junior Grade." And he turns and he walks off the shuttle to meet Lieutenant Commander Zemp and the torpedo.
Without any shoulder rubs.
That's gotta sting.
It's got a sting, yes. And so the four of you, or sorry, the three of you, will be transporting it into the cargo hold. So I'm going to need you all to make a daring or control plus engineering, difficulty of 1. Okay. Perfect. And Commander Kullat, do you want to do anything with that momentums?
Bank it.
Bank it. Banked. Considered banked. So you guys have no issues setting it up in the hold to the doctor's specifications and wishes, and he nods at all of you and he says, "Job well done, gentlemen. Shall we join your compatriots back on the Surprise and witness the glorious detonation that I have set upon us?"
Glorious?
It will be glorious. Don't you agree, Lieutenant Commander? Have you ever seen a quantum torpedo?
Well, I've seen simulations.
So then you know it will be. Then you know it will be glorious.
That was good.
Okay, so real quick, one more time, Andal and Zemp. I'm going to need a daring and control Conn plus Conn.
Daring or control?
Daring or control. Yes, sir.
Okay. Much better that time.
Much better. Except for he's riding with Zemp now. So
He
you
uses
all.
his extra die to do a loop-de-loop.
Yes. You guys want to bank that momentum?
Yes.
Okay. Notes made, and you have no issues getting the ships back into the shuttle bay. The doctor looks at Zemp, and he nods his head and he says, "Well done, Lieutenant Commander. That is how piloting should be."
What is with this guy, man? Jeez.
Shall we join your crew back on the bridge to observe the detonation of this torpedo?
Absolutely. I appreciate your words of affirmation.
I know a good pilot when I see one.
That guy's a dick.
You is smart. You is kind.
So back on the ship, the captain welcomes you all back and orders you all to your stations, and looks over to Commander Maricadi and he says, "Commander Maricadi, if you could put us all into yellow alert and have Lieutenant Commander Zemp take us to the safe distance Dr. Jabrin has prescribed."
Roger that, Captain. Attention bridge, and all on deck. We are now on yellow alert. Lieutenant Commander Thrall, go ahead and take us to heading 16.9 and engage impulse.
So does that, whatever the doctor prescribed, does that match what my reading said should be outside of effective range?
Yeah, it actually is a safer distance.
Okay.
So if you want to move it closer, you can. If not,
No, just making sure.
okay. So for those of you unaware, yellow alert is just more of a readiness state, but it does put your shields up. Okay. And Seb, you're playing Reinach Vogt as well, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. If you could give me a reason in science or reason in security of a difficulty 1, a Commander Maricadi, give me a security and sensors roll.
Security and sensors.
Was that
Oh,
for
on the
me
ship.
or Reinach?
Yeah, for Reinach Vogt, reason in
I
science.
just
or
noticed I
reason in security.
can't roll from that sheet.
Let me see.
Oh,
Figure permissions, all players. Would that be owner or?
I would assume so. Owner should do it. That's the highest permission.
Try that.
I might have to refresh. Let me check one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna refresh. If you want to roll that for me, where I refresh. I don't know if you want to wait, but I'm refreshing
Wait,
now.
it'll only take a second.
Oh, yeah, that was quick. Cool. Let's see. Cool. No, I still can't.
No.
Cool.
Try now.
Yeah, there we go. That did it.
Perfect.
Reason and security.
Reason in science or reason and security difficulty 1.
And this is for the shields.
This is just because I'm asking you to do a roll.
Okay, I was just asking for some focus.
I love you. Let me see. Hold on. You won't need a focus.
Okay.
You won't need a focus.
He's gonna fail this roll now.
Okay. So the ship, it moves safely into the distance, and Dr. Jabrin is kind of standing in front of where you see where Commander Maricadi is standing and the captain is sitting in his seat. He's kind of standing behind Lieutenant Thrall at that railing and just kind of holding on to it. He's got a grip on it, and he's watching the screen. And let's see here. Sev, your Discord, sir.
Okay, so is it everyone's on the bridge then? Captain, commanders, everyone?
Yeah. So, right on. I should ask, Kullat, are you going to be? You're at your station, correct?
Correct.
Kaval, you're going to be in engineering, or are you going to be at the engineering station on the bridge?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes.
In
On the bridge.
engineering? On the bridge.
On the
Okay,
bridge.
perfect. Yep. So then everybody else would be in there. Affirmative.
Okay. Seems there's what is there's right here on the screen 3 Klingon birds of prey decloaking near the
Ah.
ship. They're
We're in red
firing
alert.
now.
Are the shields all...
Red alert. So the captain stands up, and what you see is 3 smaller birds of prey decloak. One breaks off of the other 2. 2 head straight for the surprise. And so we're going to go into ship combat now, and
Blow that torpedo! Blow that torpedo!
you guys are at a safe distance. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but they're not, right?
No, they've decloaked basically right in front of you.
Wow.
Blow it
So
anyways.
they're also at the
Load
same
anyways.
distance.
They are at a safe distance.
Oh,
Then,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
let's blow it.
We can't let them capture it.
So,
Agreed.
real quick, I'm gonna hit us up with a brief overview of the combat and how it works, so you guys can understand. That way, you'll know what to do when we go through it, and then we'll take the first round and any subsequent rounds after that a little slower, just so you guys can understand it, because really it is. There is a lot more bolstering to the ship's abilities and its shields, its power, its attack than it is just attacking. So if you guys could load up under the supporting characters, the USS Surprise, just to have the sheet up and look at it real quick. Oops, where'd it go? So, I'll try not to get too wordy on this, but ship combat basics. So each ship has ship scale, which you see on the left side. The Surprise is a 4. It has resistance, which is a 4, shields, and power. Shields are at the top in red, powers in the bottom in yellow. And then they also have talents, equipment. We have obviously shuttlecrafts in the launch bay. Scale refers to the size of the ship. Our ship is a 4, which is the equivalent to the USS Voyager. The Enterprise from Next Generation was a scale 6. Like a Borg sphere is scale 7. And then a Borg cube is something along the lines of scale 13. And the scale kind of reflects how much crew support there is on the NPC side and resistance for everybody else. Resistance is equivalent to its durability, like kind of a mixture of the ship's hull, its space frame, composition, structural integrity, things like that. Just redundancies built into the systems. In gameplay, what it means is it helps reduce the amount of damage that's suffered by a ship. Kind of like when a PC might wear armor or when a PC might be behind cover. It essentially softens the blow. Shields, we obviously know what those are. When they go down to 0, then we start to receive breaches on the ship, and I'll go into those in a minute. And then lastly, power. The ship power rating, it represents its reserve and surplus power, which can be spent on like a wide variety of actions taken within the starship. And it can also be lost depending on damage we might take or some other weapons that we might be hit with, things like that. So at the start of a combat scene, a ship generates its full power capacity. For us, it'll be 10, and our shields go to full, which is 13. The power then allows us to draw from that, attempting certain actions within the ship, utilizing different technologies that draw from the ship's power supplies. Basic operations like life support, communications, basic maneuvering, they're already assumed to be powered. and when we get to it here in the journal notes, different combat actions that you'll have within your stations will tell you if there's a power requirement, and I'll help guide you through that. So really, you want to pay attention to the power, and you want to pay attention to the shields. Ship combat is fought like normal combat, PC, NPC, PC, unless there's multiple NPCs, so it's PC, NPC, NPC, things like that, and then PC. On the NPC ship, their scale again tells me how many crew support I have. So these bird of prey are a scale 3. That means I have 3 crew members on board that I have to take actions for against you guys. The combat's fought in grid. As you can see, I have a grid set up. Close range is sharing the same zone that the ship is in. Medium range is adjacent. Long range is 2 zones away, and extreme is more than 2 away. During combat, PCs have minor actions, and then their standard actions, and we'll go into those in a second. Each station that you guys are at, so command, con, engineering, sensors and operation, tactical, they have their own set of actions. So real quick, if you load up the journals on the right side where it says journal entries at the top, the book, you go down to ship rules, open that up, and then go to station actions in combat. Everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. If you want to click on Conn real quick, which is Zemp's position, you'll see that a large majority of his actions that he can take from that station are listed in here, and it'll tell you at the top the majority of his tasks are going to be a control and con. However, there's other things in here that have power requirements. Going to impulse, which is going to be moving anywhere long range, going to warp, evasive action, attack pattern, etc. They all have different abilities that assist the ship. So looking at like evasive action, he would roll his normal daring and con, difficulty 1. The ship would roll its structure and con. As long as he's successful, by his next turn, any attacks against the ship, their difficulty goes up. So it represents that he has gone into attack pattern, Janeway Alpha Pi, whatever, all the different attack patterns that they list in the show and things like that. And so all of your stations have the same thing and different abilities to help bolster the ship, its abilities, and its attack. The captain and the XO, they have more of a crew bolstering effect. One move which is very nice, but it only can be used during one scene, it's called direct, and that's going to be the commander or the captain directing somebody to do something specifically. And if that means that character takes another turn, that means the character takes another turn. But it can only be used once during the scene, and then there's other stuff that you can do. And then also, Commander Maricadi, if you want, you can do a minor action which moves you to a station, but you can't do anything on that station if it's occupied until the person that's at that station takes their turn. Because it basically resembles them. They're moving away, you know what I mean, and they're typing away, and unless you like kind of come in and shove them aside, which will take your turn anyway, you're not going to be able to do anything.
I mean, looking at I imagine I'm doing a lot of rallying, directing, and creating advantage. I'm not going to be doing much in terms of actually with the consoles or anything, unless somebody we take a shot, somebody gets knocked out or something, then all right, fuck, I'm on weapons.
Yeah. And then lastly, the only person that's going to be able to shoot is from the tactical station, which is Rhymek Vogt, and that's a supporting character that Severian will be playing, since the medical med bay really doesn't have much of a role until people start getting injured. And when you do take shots, we'll get into that, and there's damage. Lastly, which is the damage. It's when your shields go down to 0, when you take 5 or more damage, or if your shields are already at 0 and you take more damage, we start to receive breaches. And there's 4 different types of breaches: impact damage, disabled, destroyed, and each taking away more abilities or making things harder to do on the ship. So I know I just vomited a bunch of things at you, but the idea is that everybody's working together to ensure success, not death, in combat. So we're going to go a little slow and kind of walk you guys through the first round. If you guys are you guys okay going through the first round of this before we end?
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
okay
I'm
with that?
confident.
I have a question about the
Yeah.
general situation, though, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm correct in presuming that the Klingons are nominally at least our allies currently, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so this is
That would
this is
be-
unusual.
That would be for you. That would be standard knowledge that yes, the Klingons.
You mean the Romulans?
No, these are Klingons.
These are
bird of prey.
Klingons.
These are Klingons.
Oh.
So
Yes.
there's no reason for us to assume right now, except for this excessive show of force. Have they done anything that
They have not
indicates a
aggressed us.
threatening posture?
Lieutenant Junior Grade, if you could reread what you found on your sensors.
Yeah, I had said that they're firing on us right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are firing. So what else is in this area besides the
Oh, they have aggressed.
besides the freighter with the torpedo upon it? Is there anything else of value?
No, and that's why Jabren picked this area, because it's, in a sense, off the beaten path. It was secretive, or at least he'd hoped it was secretive, and there's nothing else in the area but space and the 5 ships, including the freighter.
Okay, hey, Commander, if I may make a recommendation.
State your mind.
Blow the torpedo and break away.
Jabren would run up, would turn immediately and say, "We will not handle the ships, Captain." And the captain.
Speak it up.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, ignore me.
The captain would nod and say, "We will do what we can to ensure that they do not get this in their hands. We do not want a full-on war with the Klingons. We are currently at peace. There's no reason to start a war. We can handle this."
Didn't they start the war?
And isn't that in direct contradiction? If we're not attempting to start a war, then surely the best action is to blow that torpedo
Klingon
take off.
implant.
And to break away before we have to engage.
Captain, what are your orders?
The captain would say...
wuss.
The captain would say, "Prepare
Why
to
you
fight
already
back,
down there?
and let's not let this torpedo fall into their hands."
Very well. Tactical. I'm gonna need a phaser array on the bird of prey to our 45-degree angle. I'm just gonna take the first turn and do a direct ship command to make tactical fire weapon.
So real quick, since they decloaked and showed up, they do get to go first.
Oh wow.
And this map is correct. One of the 3 is at the freighter.
Is heading towards it, yes.
Blow it.
Yes.
That bitch.
So
Hey, I can send out a probe to get the information we need, but just blow it.
blow it. Okay,
Just blow it.
so let me go here first.
Does
So
my
the-
quick to action talent apply in ship combat?
What does it say?
During the first round of any combat, you and your allies may ignore the normal cost to retain the initiative.
Oops.
It says any combat. Ship combat, I feel like, would fall within any combat, but I'm not the GM.
with that, I would let you take the tactical. I would let tactical take one turn before the other two go, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it's definitely.
He's a fair man. What a fair man.
So then, so for you, if you'll look at your actions in combat, what would you like to do? Have you looked any of them over?
Yeah, I was going to fire a phaser array, exactly like the commander is wanting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. So, what you need to do, since that's an energy weapon, it's going to be a difficulty 2. Okay?
Okay.
So with your character sheet, what I need from you is a control and security, difficulty 2, and whoever's controlling the surprise, I need a weapons and security.
I got the weapons and security.
Okay.
Should I add a momentum on there?
Now,
What do you guys think?
since I'm calling targets, if you are successful, you get a bonus momentum. If you're successful. So, what's the DC?
Well, I'm only letting Reinect Vox
Yeah, I don't.
ability, his talent come into play here, so you wouldn't
Oh,
be
I
able
see.
to
Never mind.
get your orders off just yet.
That makes sense. Then yeah, I would use the momentum either way. So
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and so
spend
you.
one momentum to get an extra dice.
Okay. If you want to do that, that's fine. You could also spend additional power, 2 additional power, which increases the damage by 1 per power spent. So as you can see, energy weapons are a power requirement of 1.
Okay. I won't spend extra power yet. Do
Okay.
I get a focus because of my shipboard tactical systems?
Yes, you do. So you'll want to click that. Commander Maricadi, if you could take 1 power away from the surprise for me, please. You just click
I
on the
can't
10.
do that.
It won't let you?
No, I can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Means no, that's an unlawful order.
Thank you.
Non-falafel orders, sir.
All right, perfect. So you have 4 successes. So the difficulty was 2. That means you have 2 momentum. What would you like to do with that?
All into damage.
All into damage. Okay, so, sorry. If you have the surprise up, either Tactical can roll this or Maricadi can roll this since he was running the sheet a little bit. Under equipment on the right-hand side, you'll see phaser array, and you'll see the little target thing to the left. If you want to click that, and you're going to increase. Actually, he used a dice for the roll, so just roll the standard. I think it's 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 4 successes, which is 4 damage plus 2 effects. The phaser array on this ship, real quick, if you look at the journal, where's that? Under weapon qualities, under basics, you'll see that the surprise has both the area and the spread. Area is where'd it go? Area affects anyone that's in contact with this target, so it doesn't really apply here because we're not basically in melee, but spread does, and that attack inflicts additional hits to random systems, half of the damage that you do rounding up, so basically it counts as almost a second attack. The phasers are so strong. So what we'll do is we'll go through the first group of damage first. And were you targeting the bird of prey number 1 or number 2? I forgot to ask, sorry.
1.
1?
Yep.
Okay. So the first one takes 4 hits to its shields. And since we're on spread, that's going to be 2 more. So since they're considered separate attacks, they don't suffer a breach, but their shields did take a solid hit, and they're almost down to about 25% shields with that first hit. So that was a good shot. And I did forget to ask, do we want to act it out as we roll, or do we want to act it out at the end all together as you guys kind of working it? We can do either, whatever you guys want to do.
I think
As we roll might be easier just so we don't forget anything.
That's also
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a fair point.
whatever works.
We can do that.
Can I
that's
just
fine.
say, I love the fact that the planets and stars and constellations are moving in the background. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Okay, so you took your first shot. But the phase array, like I said, it's a large array, and there's multiple phasers just coming off of it. So you just pelt this thing. So if you want to tell me what you do and what happens.
I see them decloak, and before, like, as I'm announcing that they're decloaking and firing, I'm already inputting commands to be ready to fire something off, and I get that phaser array warmed up and shooting off at that bird of prey before it can even fire on us.
Fantastic. So, and it hits. You see some damage, some explosions, and it takes to the shields. And you're able to see that it does take some shields damage, and those are standard scans for you guys. Let's see here. So it's going to be the Klingon ships, since they do kind of show up out of nowhere with the advantage of their cloak. They're all going to get to go at least one time first. So the first ship is going to attack with its phaser array. And Klingon here, so this is going to take me just a second as I work through it. Is a control and security, difficulty 2, and the bird of prey is down by 1. So there was 1 success and 1 complication. And complications for rolls like this, generally, if they have a power requirement, they take 1 more power from you guys. So he loses 2 power, and due to your attack, Reinach Vacht, his phasers, or his disruptor cannons completely miss, but they do go across your bow. And the second ship, the second bird of prey, is also going to fire its phasers at you. And so there's going to be the same rolls. Where's my bird of prey?
Oh my god!
Oh, okay. And
This
bird of
sucks.
prey, so that's
Calm down, Commander. Calm down.
Excited.
power, and that was what? Weapons and security. Weapons, security. Where's that? Okay, so that's another power, but they do hit, and they're going to use that towards extra damage. So I'm going to roll. There were 5 hits and 3 effects, so let's see if there's any effects on the disruptor cannon. There are not, so thankfully you guys don't get hit twice like Surprise did. So you take 5 hits. What that means is Mr. Maricadi, if you could take 5 shields away. I think that takes us down
Holy
to what,
shit.
8? That means you
Yeah.
also suffer a breach. So,
Take it.
Lieutenant Thrall, can you roll me a d20, please?
Just a D20.
Just 1 d20. Because they're not targeting any specific system, so it goes to a random system based on this roll. So it hits the sensors. So I'm gonna mark a breach on your sheet. And oops. All right. And so if you go to breaches real quick, we'll go to sensors. What that means is we take a breach to that. So 1 or more breaches disrupts the functions of the sensors temporarily. until the operations officer performs a minor action, which is a restore action. No task can be attempted which uses the ship's sensors. And then all attacks made by the surprise goes up by 1 difficulty because the sensors took a hit. So, do this real quick. I need to keep track because otherwise there's too much going on. And then lastly, this ship, the 3rd bird of prey. I'm not going to announce what they're doing. So, let's see here. Okay. And he's gonna do is he's gonna spend 2 threat. That. And the bird of prey 3 is going to there you go. So perfect. I will make a note here as to what occurs. And we are back to the surprise.
Okay.
So, minor actions and actions in ship combat. Like, so with the sensors, my actions are sweep, scan, launch probe. If restoring an impact takes a minor action, can I do that and still scan?
Yes. Yeah, so if you look also under the same journal entries under basics, I have ship minor actions. There's quite a bit in there that you can do if you want. But it's not something you have to do. So restore is that minor action. So that would allow you to utilize the sensors once again.
Yeah, then I want to restore the sensors.
Okay. And then you don't have to do anything for that since it's a minor action. Commander Maricadi, on the ship's page, if you see to the right of where it shows, let's see. You see systems, and it says mod, and then to the right of it, it says breach, and there should be a 1 on the systems, or on sensors.
Okay, it should be a 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it's not there, it's on my sheet, I can see it, but if it's there, delete it and put it back to 0.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, so then what is your action going to be, Commander Kullat?
To scan for weakness on bird of prey 1.
Okay. And that's under sensors and operations, correct?
Yes.
So scan for weakness for you is going to be a control and science, difficulty 1. The ship, Commander Maricadi, if you could roll a sensors and security.
Nice.
Okay. Perfect. What would you like to do with that momentum? Just bank it? There's not much for this action.
Yeah, it can't really
there's
be
nothing
increased
you're
in
gonna do,
anyway, so yeah, bank
but
it.
At least it gives your peeps some stuff to work on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what I've just done is if it succeeds the vessel's next attack before the end of the sensor operator's next turn, gains the piercing 2 quality, ignoring 2 of the target's resistance. If any bonus d20s are purchased for that attack, it inflicts an extra damage per d20.
Yes.
So just if we can attack before the close of my next turn, we'll get extra.
Okay. Yep. So you guys see how it helps you guys to do different things and stuff like that. So then real quick, the bird of prey 1 is going to go again. His turn.
when
Yes,
do
go
the
ahead.
rest of us get a go?
So it'll go you guys, them, you guys, them, you guys, them.
Well, but I mean internally, the crew.
Whoever decides to go next, like it's between you guys and what you decide as to when you each go.
So
one of us
only-
gets a turn on our turn, and then they get a turn. Then one of us gets a turn, and then they get a turn.
Oh well, that sucks.
Yep. So the bird of prey 1, he is going to do the same thing that whole operations man just did. Kullat. So that's going to be a controlled sciences. Bird of prey 1. Defenses and security. Okay, so that ability also falls for that Klingon ship. And now it's back to you guys.
We did just get an ammo drop also by Distal's place.
Oh, all right. Did Caval find another photon torpedo? Oh, they kind of did, yeah. You could see that.
So can I attempt to replenish shields?
Yeah. You can do that. That is.
Now, where do I do that from?
So, in your journal entries there.
Yeah. No, I see it in the journal entries
Okay.
that it's an option, but where do I execute it?
So what I need you to do from your character sheet,
My character sheet.
I need a control and engineering, difficulty 1, Commander Maricadi, structure and engineering, please.
Roger Dodger.
Okay. And let's see. I'd like to use. Oh crap! What was it called?
Oh,
The one that I get 1 power if I'm successful in engineering task.
Was that your talent? A little more power?
A little more power, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you succeed in an engineering task aboard your own ship, you may spend 1 momentum to regain 1 spent power. Do we have an extra momentum?
You have plenty of momentum, yes.
Then I'm going to do that as well. Let's see, what else? I'm going to, let's see. Use a focus.
Okay.
I guess that's it. Okay. Roll dice.
Okay.
2 successes.
Did you say how many momentum you were spending for power?
1.
Just 1? Okay. So
I think we're just down 1.
Yes, you are. But the surprise rolled a complication, so it kind of equals itself out. So you still have 1 less power, but
Okay.
you know what I mean. You still helped him.
Yeah.
Your ability to do the you were regenerating his shields, right?
Yeah.
So
So
you
I.
succeeded at that.
So that's 2 points of shields per success, or
Yes, that's. No. Well,
With the
it
ship
was a
regains-
difficulty of 1, so you have extra momentum here.
if
so-
successful, the ship regains 2 points of shields, plus 2 more for each momentum spent.
Yep. So you get 2 shields.
Yeah, but I got 2 successes. I'm sorry if I'm not getting this.
Nope, that's okay. So for you to succeed at doing this or not, it's a difficulty level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 being
Right,
impossible,
right,
1
right.
being super easy. When you roll a difficulty of 1, it only requires 1 success. That second
Okay,
success
I got you.
turns
I'm not
into momentum.
doubling. I got you. And can I use that momentum?
Yeah.
So I
did you want to put it towards the shields?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that 1 momentum, Anthony, Commander Maricadi, if you could give the surprise 4 shields back.
boom, 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 boom. Great work, Caval.
Perfect. Okay, so bird of prey number 2 gets to go. And they... Let's do this. That is going to be... Okay, so he succeeds in his invasive action turn. I will just mark that on my sheet here. You guys are up.
Blow him out of the sky!
So you still
Yeah, so-
have Commander Maricadi, Lieutenant Commander Zemp that can go.
All right, so I'll do tactical. Give me another volley of the photon array. Finish off this bird of prey. So I'm pailing the tactical to do the photon array.
So you're
That's a
using
direct
your
action.
direct.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you use a momentum, we get an extra attack or something
Are you talking about for the...
for the sensors.
Yes. So
Okay, yeah, then I'll spend a momentum to do that for him.
Okay.
And then
Would be whoever's attacking.
Sure.
Any
yeah.
bonus D20s purchased inflict a damage. Sorry.
Sure. So we'll do that. I also want to do call targets. My talent. When I am directing a task, I can call targets. If he's
Okay.
successful, he gets a bonus momentum that he has to use for that roll. Doesn't
Okay.
go in the pool.
All right. All right. So then you just received an order there, Reinach Vogt.
All right, so that's control and security, and I get another die added to that. Is that?
Yeah, added momentum.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then if you succeed, you have another free momentum to use for extra damage for the sensors bonus.
Okay.
Commander Maricadi, if you could roll a weapons and security, please, from the ship,
Mhm.
and then take the power down by 1.
Roger that. Nice.
And again, just as a reminder, since this is all new for us, if you want to, Severian, you can use 2 additional power to increase the damage, if you want. 1.
I don't want to use up all of our power. We got a long fight ahead of us, so not yet.
Okay. All right, so you succeed 1. You have 2. You have 2 extra momentum. Okay.
All into damage.
All into damage. So that's what? 4? 3. Maricadi's is 1.
Yeah, I think 3, and
The
then the
2 that
extra
you just
thing.
received?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 3. Okay. So then under the ship, if you want to roll it, Reinach, you can, or the commander can. Under the next to the phase array is the target.
Gotcha.
I'll roll it this time.
Oh, do it then. I encourage you.
Oh.
Oh, shit!
So also, he ignores. It's a piercing 2 quality, ignoring 2 of the target's resistance per effect rolled. So there's 4 effects. That's 8 ignoring resistance on that.
Yes. Yes. So, all right. Let me do a little bit of math. Hold on. Un moment, por favor. So that is going to be. So that's 6. That's 9 total. And okay. So
Boom.
Okay. So you hit that bird of prey. It knocks out its shields. You see a small explosion kind of happen towards the rear of the ship, but it is still flying. And now that ship actually misses its next turn because of that. Now hold on, because remember, the phaser ray has spread. So your last attack had 9 total, right? So half of 9 rounded up is 5. So that means that bird of prey takes another hit, which causes another breach in the system. So let me see here. Ship scale is 3, so it's 2. So it takes another breach. And just so you guys are aware, its scale is 3. So next hit you have to it disables it. One after that would blow it up. And that, again, I'm kind of giving you a little bit of extra information since this is our first time going through, just so you're aware.
Okay. And
then bird of prey number 3 gets his turn now. Let's see here. And that is... I am spending some threat on that. And bird of prey 3 is... Sensors engine. Sensors engine. Okay. So I didn't mean to skip away from what you described, Lieutenant Junior Grade, but your attack once again suffers another breach on the bird of prey. So go ahead and describe what you want to describe.
All right, so the commander calls out that order to continue to attack. So I press more buttons there at my console and say, continuing phaser barrage. And then there's the you see all the phasers go off on the screen and the shields go down. Commander, here's the shields have gone down. Their systems are sustaining major damage.
Roger that. Doing great work. Perhaps we need to hail them, Captain.
And do you have a brief moment of regret for your fellow species comrades that are just now facing death?
I'd rather not talk about it.
We can try and hail them.
Yeah.
If you want the captain to take a turn, I will allow that, but that means that Zemp won't get to go this round. So I would rather have Zemp go, but if you guys
Fair enough.
want them to try and hail, that's fine. But I would
First,
prefer
we'll
Zemp.
talk after we kill one of them, perhaps.
So Zemp, our man at the con with the fancy wheel.
Right, so, question.
Yes, go ahead.
For movement, what is the difference between a long-range movement and a warp?
So, let me bring it up for you. Okay. So, in this, it's basically a long-range movement. For this, will move you these next 2. It'll basically move you 2 spaces in those grids. So I know a lot of them are larger, but it's basically adjacent and then a next. So that's what like the impulse would do. So it's your impulse engines, and then warp. What that does
is anything farther than that?
Yes. So it kind of
All right.
zips you from one spot to another.
Cool.
If that's
Wait,
what
can
you
I just
want.
ask for clarification on that? Are you talking about these squares, or are you talking about inside the white lines?
No. So the white line's almost the target look. I should pull the grid square off. It was just more there for movement purposes.
Okay.
Here, I'll do that.
No, it's fine. I just wanted a clarification of which it was meant.
Okay. Yeah, just the actual target.
Cool.
And again,
Then
you can discuss with the crew. You can do what you want, whatever.
Yep, I believe we're getting closer to this third bird of prey. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend 1 power and do an impulse.
Okay.
Do I have to roll anything for that?
So yeah, you'll roll a control and con. Maricadi,
Cool.
you're going to roll a engines and con.
Just so we're clear, then we lose the option to blow that torpedo if we get much closer, right?
Correct. You will sustain damage if you get closer.
If it goes off.
If it goes on.
I just want to make sure that's what we want to do, that we're all on the same page.
Okay. So
I mean, I'd love to blow it, but the captain seemed against that.
Maybe he's changed his mind. Ask him again.
Yeah, I'll let me finish his roll and then we can role play something out real quick. So that's successful. You had a difficulty of 0, which means you've got 3 momentum from that. As far as I'm aware, and I don't see anything here listed in terms of momentum allowing you to go farther. If
Well, you said it's I can move 2 of these zones with an impulse, right?
correct.
So 1, 2.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Zemp white knuckles the wheel. He pulls under that first bird of prey and zooms up towards its bow. It almost moves as we slide right past it, and it swings around to this behind this third bird of prey.
Okay. Captain shouts, "Excellent work!" Thrall.
Yeah, why isn't anyone rubbing his shoulders, damn it?
And the whole time Jabren is still, I mean, he's gripping that railing. Like if he could crush it, it would cave in. He's gripping it so hard. And to answer your question, Severian, that way.
Thank you.
Yes. No, thank you. So that means
If we're taking a moment for RP, I have a question for the doctor.
Dr. Jabren, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Dr. Jabren, do you have any signal we can transmit to deactivate or nullify the proton torpedo in case that bird of prey has taken it?
He turns, and even though Andal is not able to detect any of his motions, it's literally written all over his face. He almost has a paranoid look to him. He is kind of beside himself at what's going on right now. He turns to you when you say that, and just because he's not able to control his motions right now, he looks and he goes, "It's a quantum torpedo!" Because you did call it a different one. I forget what you said. And he says, "And I do. We have a transmission that can nullify this."
Then now would be a good time to transmit it.
And you can do that if you want. If that's a...
Oh, is that a turn?
Yeah, that... So, in this game, they count communications as a section because of the earlier ships. I'm going to let that be either operations or tactical, and sometimes it can be con, depending on what's going on. So, you guys can decide amongst you who does the role.
Well, if
If
that can be
is what you want to do.
If that can be sensors and operations, then I can wait till my next turn and do that.
Okay.
I don't want to jump in and take away from anything.
Okay, and also, real quick here, where's it at? Just as a reminder, you can spend momentum once to keep the initiative. Meaning you go again. Now.
Oh, we can do that.
Yes, it costs 2 momentum, but you can do it. Yep.
Does it still with my talent?
What's that?
Does it still with my talent?
Post it up again real quick.
Let me see where to go.
First round of any combat.
That's the same thing you're talking about? Or that's just the first round?
As a
Disregard
GM, I'm gonna go like this. But yes, it does count, so it does not cost 2. So
Okay.
you retain your momentum. So you guys have a turn.
You want to deactivate the torpedo?
The captain would look to the XO and say, "I think that's an idea we need to take now."
Very well. Let's do it.
What kind of roll was that again?
So we're going to use communications for that. So go ahead and load up communications under combat. Let's see. Let's use intercept. Yeah, I think. What do you think? I think that sounds good. Intercept. Because it's really not. I mean, we're sending a signal, not taking one over. So I guess it could be considered intercept, or we could even do it as signals jamming. If you give me a good explanation as to why you would use one over the other to do what you're doing.
If I'm doing it, I would want to do a signals jamming, and my explanation would be our signal is to jam the torpedo.
Okay.
Our signal is to cease it from being functional.
Okay. So then what I'll tell you is it's going to be, you see how it says you choose a difficulty? It's going to be a difficulty 3, because when the Bird of Prey 3 rolled in, that was his first roll, is he rolled for jamming signals. So that means you kind of have to break through his jam to do what you want to do.
To make his jelly.
To make his jelly jam. So it'll be a difficulty 3.
And is the momentum counter accurate, or how many momentum?
No, you guys have 9.
Oh.
You have 9. So also, I kind of refreshed myself on the rules. You get 6 only ever, and the rest either get used or lost. So enjoy my house rule.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean I should use 3? How many extra die can I give myself with momentum for one roll?
You can give up to 5 dice.
Oh. Let's see, it's a difficulty 3. You guys cool if I use at least 2?
Yeah, it's chill, bro.
Okay. Control engineering. It is assisted too with ships, communication, and security.
Yes, so Command Maricadi. Communications and security, and then take the power down by 1.
Raj.
I'm using 2, so I get 4 dice.
7-7, baby.
Oh wow,
So
good thing I rolled so many.
Yeah, so you succeed. And you use 2 momentum, correct?
Yes.
So it'll count as 1. You guys are at 8 now. So you were able to break through the Klingon's jam to render that torpedo inoperable. So go ahead and say or do what you want.
So I pull the doctor over my station. I'm throwing in the controls. I'm prepping the signal, and then I shove him and say, "Put in your code," and allow him to.
He quickly mashes the buttons and does so. It's in. It's in.
And then I hit the button that just broadcasts the signal out for the torpedo.
And you get readings that it was successful. So what happens next is bird of prey 1, 2, and 3 all decloak and go into warp, headed towards Romulan space. And that's where we'll end for the day.
Bastards.
So.
But wait a second, that first one can fly?
It's disabled. It's not destroyed, so it's considered that basically it lost its next turn as if we continued in combat. So not completely disabled, like floating in the sky, not doing anything. He just loses a turn in combat.
So we should have had a turn to get over and blow him up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if we were continuing combat, yes, he would have skipped, and you would have gone to another bird of prey. Good? No good? Bueno? Confused?
Good. Understood.
Okay. So, that's where we're going to pause for the day and the brief intro into ship combat. So you can see it kind of a lot goes into it, especially not just you guys working together, but on my end as well, since I mean, in this situation, I have 9 people to take care of. So yeah, it's a little much, but it kind of starts to roll, and you guys kind of see what you do assists each other in its success, in the ship's success.
I liked it.
Good.
Me too.
Good. We'll do a quick round robin before we send off with a raid. I know we went over a little bit. I kind of wanted to finish that first round just so you guys could take what was fresh and put it into use. So we'll start with Commander Maricadi. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, we got attacked by Klingons who are supposed to be allies. That's fucked up. They went towards Romulan space. It's more fucked up. And well, we have a crazy mad scientist with a time torpedo. Like I'm all over the place in terms of what is this about? Why do we have to do it here? And this seems like a bit of a setup. So,
Commander Kullat.
Commander Kullat is a little disappointed, if it were, to not see the bomb explode. You know, he's got a lot of information floating in his head of what this thing is and should do, and he's excited about the singularity within it. But at any rate, yes, his first reaction is that he doesn't get to see what happens, but then additionally he's about to start interrogating the doctor to see how far that code goes to disable that proton torpedo and to figure out what's just gotten into potential enemy hands since they've just been attacking us.
Lieutenant Commander Zemtak Thrall. Your thoughts, sir?
I don't like this situation whatsoever. I don't like that bomb being on deck. I don't like phasers have to be shot. The only thing that can be ensured in this mission is our safety, because I won't let anyone hurt our bridge.
And Lieutenant Commander Caval.
I find it interesting that they're obviously a rogue house. These Klingons, the Klingons are still our allies. I find it interesting that they went back to Romulan space. I find it interesting that they once they must have realized the torpedo was no longer had become inert, they abandoned the chase, the raid, and flew off. And most of all, I find it interesting that I've just discovered that there's a Thrall Andorian on board, and that will warrant further investigation.
Oh, yes, you see her. Yeah. And good pronunciation of the name, because I probably said it 30 ways, and I was like, I don't know how that sounds. So I think we'll go with what you said. And Lieutenant Junior Grade Andal, your thoughts?
And can I just say, at this point, I think the junior grade is just kind of a dig every time everyone adds that on there.
Lieutenant?
What's wrong?
I'll call him Lieutenant. Yeah.
I mean, it's it's up to him, but it just every time I hear it, it just sounds mean.
I say it particularly because, Kullat's that things are what they are. So I'm not trying to dig him, I'm just being the most technically correct when I do it.
Yeah, Andal would never take offense when addressed by his superiors appropriately that way. It's too much of brown noser.
Well, obviously, if you got where you got, that quickly. So you kind of have two opinions here, since you've used a supporting character the first time in this game. As Andal, and then as Reinach Vogt, our Klingon tactical officer.
So Andal is this is his first time in serious ship combat, so he's probably trying not to show how nervous he is, but also he's looking kind of jittery and just standing by for any medical assistance that might be required if there's any breaches that cause harm to any of the crew or passengers. Reinach, on the other hand, he's extremely focused at the tactical controls, and probably a little bit unnerved by the fact that there are Klingons attacking the Surprise right now, and trying to figure out why that would happen, but mostly trying to push all of those things to the background for now, while he's focusing on taking orders and kicking ass.
Awesome. And that's where we'll end. We're going to be back June 14th. Continue this saga to see where things go and what happens. With that, since we are over, real quick, we have what on the schedule? Just on
Sunday
Saturday
this week,
or Sunday,
now.
Descent into Avernus.
Yep.
Avernus.
I'm going to likely be running Delta Green this Saturday, though, to fill in there. So stay tuned for that. I'll make some announcements and things if that happens for sure. We'll know in the next day or so.
Awesome. So if you guys would stick around with me real quick, we're going to raid Diesel Shot, and then you guys can go about your evening. Give me 1 second here. I had fun doing this. Honestly, you guys made decisions. So when I was learning combat, I probably ran myself through 5 different scenarios just to kind of get an idea better of the rules, and none of the scenarios did what you guys did. So thanks for keeping me on my toes for that, because I'm having now to think like, oh, well, they're probably going to do this. And so in my head, I'm thinking this bird of prey will do this. Nope. None of that.
Nope.
Nope. So thank you for doing doing your thing. With that, we're gonna raid. Stick around. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Judge Wolf for the bumps drops, and Distal as well
Distals.
for his torpedoes. So everybody, live long and prosper. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Have a beautiful